get rid of me, I live in you. Both of our fire offend you.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's to the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shawty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And what a return. He's all the way down to the 30.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Now Wilson. Oh, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Get up! 12!
On 2nd down, Ryan. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Hey, Tuesday. Gun. Hey, express. Go.
Now Ryan on second down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Third and long. It's Ryan. That escapes the sack. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So a field goal try here on fourth down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wilson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Brooks Reed in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's a give to Mixon. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Gun!
On second down, here's Ryan. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick up on his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
21. Get out,
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Malik Jackson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep is DJ Chark. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Take this out past the 10 to about the 11. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
19. Nut. Blue team.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now it's Wilson. Ted McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. That's taken inside his own 40. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Malik Jackson there to make the stop. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
11.
To throw on second down, Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Falcons! Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Wilson on first down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
20.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
20.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got Will Tye complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Operating from the gun, Ryan, flush to his right. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Opposed to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Powers ahead at the 45. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
3 down.
Fournette, a first down carry. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
380.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
380.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Steps away to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And this is caught at the 8th. Touchdown, Jaguars. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Point after, up and good. And that'll make it 24-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. On first down, Ryan. Going up top. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. Buying time to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Ryan. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Foot left, foot left. Hey, check. 3 now. Right, move 15. Right.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Jaguars on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Right, 280. Right.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. "19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10.
11.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, here's Blunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
20. Hey, express. Gun. Let him go.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Let him go.
From the gun, Ryan. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. A very solid gain of 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. Four down, check.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Bring it. 14.
On third down, Wilson. Flushed out right. A bullet throw, but incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Tech McKinley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Blunt. In a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
22.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe he'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Wilson back into his end zone. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space there. They elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. LeGarrette Blount, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Carl Lawson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the shotgun, Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Takk McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Dancing to his left. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Takk McKinley in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fielded at the 33. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. That would carry for Blunt. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
The ball comes out. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
14.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Play action. Now Wilson. Now he'll let it go deep left. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big third down play there for the Jags. 51 yards.
Check 50, check 50.
On first down, Wilson. And he's got it. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Jaguars. No problem there on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. I'm sure the message as they come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. You know, one error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
That would be a pretty amazing comeback. But we've seen crazier things happen in the National Football League.
We certainly have.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Byfema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Falcons on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Ryan able to get away. He completes it to Bryant. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First catch for Bryant. He's got a first down. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
On second down, here's Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. 2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Now Ryan steps away to his left. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.